Hi everyone, this is MSY's Research Notes, and now I'm staying at home, and I just had dinner because today I took the train for a long time, and I hardly failed to catch the train because in Beijing there was a traffic jam, and even though I took the subway, and there were still many people, so I actually hardly failed to catch the train. So it was a very tiring journey, and it's very late at night here. It's 11:03, and I only have about 10 minutes to record this video and publish it online. Otherwise I cannot make it today, and I need to take a bath and go to sleep earlier. And tomorrow I'll stay at home and continue my essay about the literature review part. So yesterday we have talked about the procedure, and today we are going to talk about the CogAct instruction and probably something about the teacher training. I'm not quite sure whether I still have enough time to talk about that part. But today I'll finish the CogAct instruction part. So in this part, paragraph 1 to paragraph 2 together introduced how they designed, with the help of an experienced in-service teacher, the instruction. So they said they revised and refined their instruction for 3 years. So you can see here that firstly, they designed this pedagogical approach with the help of an expert. So also in my own research, I also designed this kind of my own pedagogical approach with the help of some experienced near-peer volunteers who had already participated in several voluntary programs before. So I think they can also serve as some kind of experienced experts. Moreover, I also conducted a kind of pilot experiment to make sure that my intervention and also the way of collecting data is appropriate and can yield great results. So this is like what I design. This is like the process that I design my pedagogical behaviors. So you can see that this is not merely derived from the theories, but it is closely related to or based on the reality. I mean, especially a large proportion of this design is based on the reality. So you can see this is necessary, since only being based on theories is certainly not enough. The real classroom conditions are certainly important, and we need to say that this pedagogical approach has been implemented and tested in rural classrooms and has been refined. And paragraph 3 then listed behaviors of teaching. Here, I will probably make a table to show definitions and behaviors, like different examples of behaviors. So I don't quite think that I can conclude my 7 pedagogical behaviors in a single paragraph and illustrating clearly of each one of them. So I think I'll use a table, which is much clearer. And I have already seen in other essays that authors use the same table to show their pedagogical behaviors one by one. So then this reminds me that teachers in many cases won't totally follow the behaviors, but we have designed a kind of script for teachers. Well, this is the teacher training process, because we we didn't just give teachers like those 7 behaviors to ask them implement those behaviors randomly in class. Instead, since there are only 5 days of of implementation, we designed 5 different different scripts. It's just like teachers are performing on a kind of stage. So they have already memorized their performances, what kind of words they need to say. It's just like playing a show in front of the audience. So this is what we define as script. So even though the script has been practiced for many times, we'll still make sure that teachers implement those behaviors. And that will be linked to implementation fidelity, which is the next part. So I don't quite, I can't recall why I put this part here at the end of paragraph 3, the notes at the end of paragraph 3. Well, I think I need to explain clearly how teachers are trained. And even though we are confident about the training results, we still used like some kind of some kind of fidelity tests to make sure that teachers really follow their training and follow their scripts. And I think this is a necessary part. But the implementation fidelity, well, should not be concluded here. It should be a new chapter or a new section following the CogAct instruction. And after this CogAct instruction, we moved to the CogAct teacher training. So several reminders from this essay. I didn't conclude or retell the essay. I just listed several reminders for me when I write my own essays. The first is the PowerPoint slide, which are designed together and are used, and teachers used only one PowerPoint slide. So it means that the PowerPoint slide for the 4 teachers are identical, and they didn't design the PPT by themselves. Instead, during the training, they refined and revised the PowerPoint slide to make sure that everyone is comfortable when using that PowerPoint. So this is the first reminder. And second is the behaviors should be used in a relative similar frequency. Because we have 7 different behaviors, so each behavior should be used, at a similar frequency. Otherwise, you may think that the more you use a certain frequency, the higher possible it will yield better results. Or if you only see the raw data, you will probably feel that a certain kind of behavior triggered more foreign language enjoyment signals, which might be wrong because you used this kind of behavior more frequently than others. So we try to make a balance among different behaviors, and we try to implement those behaviors at a relatively similar frequency. So this is the second reminder. And third is the refinement of behaviors is discussed together in the group. And fourth is the design of teacher training was in line with a certain kind of theory or a certain kind of essay. Here, the teacher training was in line with the results of a large review on the effectiveness of teacher professional development by a scholar. So you can see that the teacher training also followed a kind of theory and has some theoretical background or support. So the last reminder is that teachers are aware of their role and the purpose of the study. Well, this thing should also be discussed with AI or my tutor, because I'm not quite sure whether this should be included, because I'm not quite sure whether teachers should know the purpose of the study. Because if they know the purpose of the study, that might be then they might unconsciously be led to a certain kind of direction which they because in order to get good results or like satisfactory data, they probably will use some you know uh, they use some instructions which don't belong to the um, conventional teaching. They may pretend to be very rude. They may I mean uh, they may become intentionally distant with students in the control group. I mean, there are just several examples that I can think of. So, I mean, there are more possibilities for them to intentionally control their behaviors, especially in the control group, because they may want to have like a more pleasing results in the essay. So this is something I still need to discuss with my tutor. So this is basically what we have today. We have talked about the CogAct instruction, and we have talked about the CogAct teaching training. And tomorrow, I'll probably introduce my literature review part because, well, my time is really, really limited. I only have a month to finish the whole essay, and I want to make my tutor feel satisfied, and then I can try to submit my paper to some high-ranking journals, including System, which is a very famous journal of linguistics. So I only have a month, and probably during this time, I don't have too much time reading other essays, and especially after reading, I don't have too much time taking notes. So I would just share some of the essays that I have written about, but I haven't got the time to write down notes about those essays. I'll probably focus on those essays. And well, so this is today, and today it's a shorter video because I have to take a bath and go to sleep earlier, and it's a very, very tiring day because I took a long trip on the train, and I hardly, you know, you know, I nearly failed to catch the train. So well, but I'm very lucky, and I successfully made it, and I call it. Uh, Humanity conquered the time, or humanity conquered the nature, or a race against the time, a race against the time. Well, you can see that I'm very tired, so my pronunciation sounds a little bit uh, dreary or sleepy. So I shall take a bath and go to sleep earlier. Alright, so this is today, and this is MSY's research notes. See you tomorrow. Good night.